Raiders look to sweep the defending Super Bowl champions. Welcome to Week 11 of the Silver and Black Show. Today, Lincoln and I get you ready for a crucial divisional matchup against the Kansas City Chiefs. Coach Gruden joins JT to break down the seemingly impossible task of slowing down Travis Kelce. And I sit down with veteran linebacker Nicholas Morrow to discuss his challenging journey through the NFL. All that and so much more on this edition of the Silver and Black Show. Let's do this.
They'll have something for us. They'll have some wrinkles for us and all that kind of stuff. But I'm just into executing, man. You know, I don't get all caught up in the stuff, so to speak, or what we did last time. None of that matters now, right? You know, we just, you know, we're gonna play a totally new game, you know, come Sunday night. And so it is what it is. Again, you know, stuff that happened before. Yeah, we won the game, but this is a totally different game. I've played games where we've scored 40 against somebody who played the same team and scored 13 or something like that. You know, it just, you know, it happens. But you don't plan on that. We plan on going out and playing good football. But the games each time you play somebody are always different.
What is up, Raider Nation? Erin Coscarelli alongside my all-pro tackle, Lincoln Kennedy. Hi, Link.
EC, how you doing?
I am good. I'm curious how you feel about last week's, before, of course, we get into the Chiefs.
Okay.
I haven't seen you since that win against the Broncos. A convincing win it was. What was your takeaway?
How they took control in the second half. The first half was obviously close and the Broncos were into it. That's when I was a little worried. The Raiders were a better team, but there are often times when you go out there and you try to execute, things just don't hit home right away as much as you think. But they stayed with it. They stayed patient. Defense did another great job taking care of and getting some turnovers. And more importantly, the offense did well by scoring touchdowns, especially in the second half.
Yeah, I like that you said it was the second half. Being able to respond to adversity seems like the prevailing theme for the Raiders this year. But you mentioned the defense. Nick Kwiatkowski, the guy in the middle. You know, what kind of energy do you see from this defense when Nick is in the ball game? You
know, one of the things that I've noticed about the defense, and talking with Eric Harris in an interview about a week ago, he said the defense is starting to come together. They're starting to understand and build that chemistry. And that's a good thing because, you know, this team didn't have the fortune of having a preseason. So here you have 7 new starters, a lot of first-year guys that are finally learning how to play and gel with one another. And Paul Guenther's defense relies on a lot of communication, a lot of trust. You know, but Jeff Heath and all these guys, Isaiah Johnson, all these guys that are coming through, the non-typical starters, has proved big for this defense.
Stepping up and delivering when called upon, like you said, you know, next man up mentality. And certainly
had to do a lot of that this year.
Finding ways to do that. Well, I'm glad that you mentioned that because I want to switch gears to offense when you talk about the next man up mentality. Why do you believe the run game has been as successful as it is, 7th best in the NFL right now, with such a revolving door up front? Are you surprised to see at how well the Raiders offense is running the rock this year?
Not necessarily surprised, because what I've noticed is they run a lot of the same plays over and over again, and they've gotten good at it. You credit Tom Gable with understanding his personnel. He does a lot of zone run plays as well as a lot of man run plays. He attacks the defense specifically, and as you keep pounding, it was always said, you know, back in the day that, you know, sometimes those 1 and 2 yard gains in the first half will turn into 6-7 yard breakout runs in the second half because you're wearing teams down. And this offensive line is really big at that, especially the guards, Gabe Jackson and Denzel Good. Very good at moving and pulling and stuff like that. So this is a good power run game.
Yeah, 5 different tackles in the span of 9 games is what Coach Gruden said on Monday during his press conference after that big win over the Broncos. I mean, is it just an all-team effort? Because I spoke with Rich Gannon earlier, too, and he mentioned you're getting blocks from the tight ends. Everybody seems to be stepping up, even the receivers, when it comes to being able to make those blocks. As you're taking a look at the offense for 2020, points per game, solid. First down, that third down conversion rate is what you want to see, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. You want to be able to convert first downs because that helps the time of possession, stand on the football field. But you know, you mentioned the tight ends. Jason Witten's a good blocking tight end. Darren Waller, False Morrow, all the tight ends in the tight end room are pretty good run blockers. And one of the main staple runs they have is what we call tight end wham or sucker wham, where the tight end comes back across the line of scrimmage, hits the end man on the line of scrimmage, and the offense moves everything to the right, and there's a natural cutback lane. So it's been a very, very good play for the Raiders offense this year. And
it's showing, as you see right there with the third down conversion rate. All right, well, coming up next, we're going to talk Chiefs in a moment, but coming up on our show, he played every snap on the defensive side of the ball last week. Linebacker Nicholas Morrow joins us. Stick around.
Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Low fares, nonstop flights. Book now, only at Allegiant.com. Cox, proud partner of the Las Vegas Raiders. Coors Light, an official beer of Raider Nation made to chill. Presented by San Manuel Casino, official Southern California casino of Allegiant Stadium.
Third down, 1. Good block by Gordon. Look out! From behind, here comes Morrow, and the ball may have been pried free. Morrow with a nice play. We just told you he's taking the place of Littleton. First sack of the game. Morrow comes up with his first of the season in a starting role.
The Raiders have been through a lot this season, but their biggest test of the 2020 season arrives on Sunday. Head coach John Gruden said he played his best football game last week against the Broncos. Linebacker Nicholas Morrow, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Do you agree with Coach that last week was your best overall performance?
Yeah, I think wire to wire, from the beginning of the game to the end of the game, I thought I played a pretty sound game. So, yeah, I'd agree with him.
Well, it seems like the energy and the confidence permeating throughout the defense on Sunday. What's been the difference, in your opinion, with these past few weeks from a defensive standpoint?
I think guys are getting comfortable with each other, so our chemistry is better. We understand each other a little bit better. And then we changed some things defensively, schematically, to kind of help with, not having OTAs. So I think that's helped a lot, but a lot of it has to do with just guys liking each other and wanting to play for each other.
And having fun. It seems like everybody there in the building is having fun.
Absolutely.
Plus, also tip your hat to what the defense had to deal with in the beginning of the season. You guys were tested early and often for a young team. You guys were playing the Bucks, the Saints, the Chiefs, the Bills. So certainly you guys had a challenge in the first half of the season. Now, when you get ready for teams, do you guys assign certain men to emulate the other team's offensive players? For example, can Darren Waller sort of give you that Travis Kelce vibe, or maybe use Henry Ruggs' skill set to emulate what Tyreek Hill might bring?
Yeah, we use certain guys. I mean, we don't use those guys, obviously, because they're starting and they have a lot of snaps during the week. So we'll use a guy like if we want to emulate Tyreek Hill, or we use Rico Gafford. As far as Kelce goes, it just depends on the kind of tight ends we have. Sometimes we use Derek Carrier. So, yeah, depending on who we play and the personnel that we have, we try to use the guys that we have on the roster to emulate them, yeah.
Interesting. Well, other teams have their Raider week. Does a Chiefs week feel different than others? Because everyone says this is just like every other game. But, Nicholas, is it really? Come on.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is a little different when you play the Chiefs. I think it's even more when you play them at their house. But, yeah, it's definitely different when you play the Chiefs. It's a rivalry that's been going on for years, and I think guys get up for this game for sure.
Well, the Chiefs have only lost one game this season, handed to them courtesy of the Silver and Black. What do you believe is the best way to beat a guy that can make every single throw in Patrick Mahomes?
All 11. You know, we gotta rush him, and then we have to, when he breaks the pocket, we gotta plaster. And so it takes all 11 on the field to compete against this guy for sure.
All right. Well, we're going to play a little game. It's called Get to Know Nicholas Morrow. So, what is your game day routine? Like in the morning, do you have a routine? Do you change it? Does it always stay the same? What is the game day routine from first moment you wake up?
Yeah, I usually listen to a little bit of gospel. So I listen to either Jonathan Nelson or Kurt Franklin, depending on how I'm feeling, or Ty Tribbett. Just depends. And
we have a game day breakfast that we rock on with, or
no? You know, away games are kind of different when you play away games. They have different food, so
gotcha.
not really a game meal.
Well, my routine on Thanksgiving is eat a lot, watch football, and then fall asleep embarrassingly early. With it being Thanksgiving next week, what does a Nicholas Morrow Thanksgiving plate usually look like?
Okay, let's say I always eat yams. Yams my favorite. Sweet corn, collard greens, Not a huge dressing guy.
No.
Turkey, not a huge ham guy.
No.
Black eyed peas sometimes. Yeah, that's about me. Yeah.
What about cranberries? No? Yes?
A little bit.
A little bit.
Little bit
Okay.
of cranberry.
Just a dash. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Well, since we've had to stay at home more than we are used to lately, are there shows that you've been getting into?
I've been watching the Power Book, the new one, the Ghost, the Power Book 2 Ghost, something like that.
Okay.
I watched that a little bit. And Designated Survivor. Been watching those two.
Nice. Okay. I have not seen either of them, but
Yeah,
you
pretty
recommend. Okay. All right. Last but certainly not least, what is your cheat meal? I feel like that really defines a person. Your cheat meal would be what?
Barbecue ribs.
Barbecue ribs.
Yep.
Okay.
St. Louis style.
St. Louis style barbecue ribs.
That's
All
where I
right.
was born. Yep.
Well, speaking of barbecue, good luck with the Kansas City Chiefs this weekend. Nicholas Morrow, we always appreciate having you, and good luck on Sunday.
All right, thanks for having me.
You got it. All right. Coming up next, two-time Super Bowl winning quarterback Jim Plunkett joins us to discuss Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and of course, how Josh Jacobs is getting even more involved in the passing game. Stick around. We'll be right back.
This segment has been brought to you by Microsoft, an official cloud partner of the Las Vegas Raiders.
Welcome back to Silver and Black. Raiders coming off a convincing win over the Broncos, and they look to keep that momentum going against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. With that, let's welcome in our two-time Super Bowl winning quarterback, Jim Plunkett, to the show. Jim, thank you so much for joining us today.
Absolutely. Good to see you, Erin.
Good to see you. Josh Jacobs' effectiveness on early downs has led to the Raiders owning the #1 third down conversion rate. Do you believe teams will start to key in on this, and how do you believe we should take advantage of that?
Well, number one, the more yards you gain on first down, the easier it is to convert on second and third down and get that first down and keep those drives going. On the other hand, and you want to try and keep that momentum going on first down with Jacobs, but the defense on the other side wants to slow it down, maybe get more people up the line of scrimmage and shut down the running game and make you get into long yardage situations. But the Raiders are going to try and keep it going. That's what's helped make them successful throughout the year. And until they stop it, they're going to keep doing that.
How do you believe how much of an advantage the bye week is, right? Andy Reid, obviously, we know successful at it, but some coaches like Gruden don't like it because they believe it can stifle momentum. How do you feel about this, Jim?
Well, if you have momentum going, then you want to keep it going, and you don't want a bye week. You want to keep doing what you're doing, moving the ball down the field, scoring points, playing defense. And if that's how your season is going, you don't want that bye week. But on the other side of the coin, if you're struggling a little bit, you have some injuries, you lost 1 or 2 games, then maybe you do want that bye week to regroup, maybe get some of your injured players back and start all over again. So, it can be a benefit for some teams and not for others.
Sure. A benefit for Andy Reid. He's 18-3 all-time off the bye. Obviously, of course,
Right.
You have an advantage when you get 2 weeks to prepare for an opponent as opposed to 1. Let's talk Patrick Mahomes for a moment. Jim, have you seen anything like Patrick Mahomes in your many years with this league? Sometimes it's hard to appreciate in the moment, but we can be watching one of the greatest to ever do it.
Oh, I think you're absolutely right. He reminds me of a combination of Steve Young, who can run extremely well, and John Elway, who's got the strong arm, looks down the field, looks for the big play. And Mahomes does this week after week. He gets in trouble, he gets out of it, he finds a way to get the ball down the field, either by running or by throwing. And he's just a terrific player, and obviously he's going to continue to get better.
Well, the Raiders were able to stop him once this season. They look to do it a second time on Sunday. Jim, as always, we appreciate when you join us.
You bet. Thank you.
All right, well, you heard from our Super Bowl winning quarterback. Now time to hear from Coach JT the Brick. Gets Gruden's take on what Nick Kwiatkowski means to this defense and what the Raiders are up against when it comes to another division foe on Sunday.
We welcome in the head coach of the Silver and Black, John Gruden. And Coach, the play of Heath, you got the guy with Mike Mayock. Let's talk about it. He's a ball hawk, AFC Defensive Player of the Week.
Good player. And, JT, he just waited his turn. Eric Harris has been ailing a little bit, and Heath comes into the game, good things happen. He's got great instincts. He's very experienced. You know, he started over 50 games for the Cowboys, and not a lot of our fans may know this, but I'm told he is, if not the fastest Cowboy they had in the last couple of years, he's one of them. The man can really run. He's got good instincts, and he's starting to really fit well in our defense.
I want to stay with another free agent, and Nick Kwiatkowski and his leadership, how he's getting comfortable with this defense. Another big interception for your team.
He's doing a great job, not only on first down, but on every down. And you said it, without an off-season program, it took him a little time, I think, to settle in a new defense with new teammates. But his communication, his recognition, and his playmaking has really picked up the last couple weeks, and we're going to need him this week because you know who's coming to town.
Coach, you ran it for 200 yards against Denver. That's a big deal, and I know you take pride in third down efficiency with Derek Carr and calling plays. Can we talk about that running game and what it does to set up third down?
Well, it helps you to stay on schedule. You know, we like running the ball here. We've got the components to do it. We have a great back, a physical line, tight ends that can handle it, a lead back, and, you know, we got a quarterback that tries to help us out by putting us in some good plays here and there. But when you can stay on schedule, you avoid the 3rd and 13s, the 3rd and 10s and 11s, and you keep yourself in some unpredictable situations. You can open up some plays on 3rd and 2 and 4. So that's been a key for us, and we hope to continue that and get more out of our passing game as well.
You got a great center in Rodney Hudson, Coach. Can we talk about him? Pro Bowl voting coming up here. The fans, he's just a silent leader. And when he talks, people listen, and he's just there for you every practice, week in and week out, and he plays great on game day.
Great. He's all pro, and if he's not all pro this year, there should be some type of investigation. He is as tough as you can find. The man is very mentally and physically tough. He's gifted. He's got great talent to play the position, but I think it's his mental toughness and his football aptitude that allows him to make the guys next to him better. And ask yourself this, who's playing better at right guard than Gabe Jackson, and who's playing better at left guard than Denzel Good? Our inside three are a big reason why we're running the ball.
For years, I've talked with you about Travis Kelce, getting your hands on him, double-teaming him over the top. He's putting up wide receiver numbers as a tight end, the challenge that he poses Sunday night.
Well, they're going to throw it on almost every play, and Mahomes keeps things alive. A lot of the catches that Kelce makes are unscripted. It's not like he's running a particular route. He's able to run shallow crosses, corner routes. He can run any route, but it's the second reaction scramble drill plays where they just kill people. And you're right, we got to do a lot better job against him to have a chance, but it's hard to find him. They do a great job moving him around, and it's not just Kelce you got to worry about, JT. They got Tyreek Hill, they got Sammy Watkins, and they've got an array of backs, and it's a problem.
Coach, finally, you won a shootout. Derek played great in that game. You made big plays at Arrowhead when you had to. You know Kansas City's coming in with one of the toughest game plans to defend against. How about the message? It's a fluid week. I know you have a lot going on. We appreciate your time. But the message to the fans is you have the ability to stack more wins again, especially in the division.
Well, I wish they were all here. I can only imagine this stadium if we could pack it for the Chief Week on Sunday Night Football. But our guys are working hard. We have had a lot of things to overcome this week. But you'd really have to see it to believe it, Raider fans. We got a great group of guys that's going to be ready to play.
All the best, Coach. Thanks for joining us as always.
Thanks, JT. You too.
This segment has been brought to you by Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of the Las Vegas Raiders.
I mean, if you're not ready to go in this game, I'm playing a divisional opponent, playing against a good football team, you know, so I mean a lot going towards the AFC West standings, then you're not in the right sport. So, I mean, for me, it's just as important as any other game in the division, no matter if they took the victory lap or not.
All right, welcome back to the show. Erin, Coscarelli, Lincoln Kennedy with you. You heard from Patrick Mahomes right there. Obviously, a huge division win with playoff implications for both teams. Does this game feel bigger than years past because of what's on the line, because the Raiders won early on in the season?
I don't know if it feels bigger, but I know it's bigger for the Chiefs because they want to keep pace with Pittsburgh. So they're going to come in here. They want to try to ruin Allegiant Stadium like the Raiders did when they went back to Arrowhead earlier this year and beat them. And of course, getting revenge. The last thing the Chiefs want to do is have the Raiders nipping at their heels, because if the Raiders take this game, then they're only basically a half game back with the Chiefs.
Yeah, and this franchise, the Raiders franchise, been trying to turn a corner for a while now. Do you believe that if they do take a W against the Chiefs Sunday, that now they are legitimate in the discussion about being contenders this year?
Well, I think they're in a discussion right now because they've already beaten the Chiefs. But I remember back in the day when I was playing, the biggest thorn that we had on our side was Denver. We could never beat a Mike Shanahan team. Couldn't figure it out. Until we got over that hump, that's when we started going to playoffs, things started happening. So this is projected to be a good year for the Raiders. This is projected to be a year where they're going to go into the playoffs. They can use this game because they've got a tough schedule against Miami and Indianapolis coming up, both playoff caliber teams. A lot of football left to be played, but I know they definitely want this win.
The Raiders, for the first time since 2012, would sweep the Chiefs if they do beat them 2-0 this season. All right, well, I ask you this each and every week. But this week, I am extra curious. Key to victory for the Silver and Black against the Chiefs.
One of the things that the Raiders did very well last week is the last time they played, is that they ran the ball effectively and they threw the ball effectively. That leads to time of possession. So there's a balanced attack where you score touchdowns. If you're able to do that, you'll keep the pressure on the opposing offense and you'll give your defense a little bit of an advantage. Because if you remember in that game, when the Raiders jumped ahead significantly, then the Chiefs had to go pass happy, and then the defense stepped up and got some sacks and
the interception.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there you go. Well, and that seems to be the identity of this team. You're seeing from Gruden, run the rock, eat the clock.
That's right.
And let the defense do the work for you. Well, as always, Lincoln, we appreciate getting your insight. That'll be a wrap for us. I'm Erin Coscarelli. We will see you next week on the Silver and Black Show.
This has been brought to you by Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Low fares, nonstop flights. Book now, only at Allegiant.com. Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of the Las Vegas Raiders. Cox, proud partner of the Las Vegas Raiders. Twitch, the official live streaming partner of the Las Vegas Raiders.